and Apple Podcast. For more information or health insurance quote, visit TylerMcCluskey.com.
Join us this Saturday at 11 a.m. for the Tyler McCluskey Show, right here on 92.5 Fox News.
Before buttons, things were much harder, like starting an outboard motor. Come on. Or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere and Jay will beat it. Guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Water everywhere. You can't swim in it. You can't stand drinking it. Heck, it's so bad it's on the news every day. Hi, I'm Rob Hill from Bob Hill Plumbing. We've invested over 66 years here in Naples, bringing you clean, drinkable water for your home or condo. We realize we can't fix the water problems everywhere, but we can definitely clean up the water inside your home. Our government does their best to deliver safe water for use. But wow, who wants chlorinated yellow water at every faucet? Let us install a Halo home filtration system and remove all the bad taste, color, and odor from your water. Halo removes 99% of all chlorine, ammonia, and all the bad-tasting chemicals in our municipal water system. Call Bob Hill Plumbing today and let us install a Halo water system in your home so you can once again enjoy clean, bottle-quality water at every faucet. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or bobhillplumbing.com.
This is 92.5 Fox News. This is The Drive with Trey Rader.
You know how happy it makes you to see you bumping your heads to that music? Phone number is 239-479-5592. College athlete pay rules are moving forward. Here in the state of Florida, we have it's the public comment period right now, whatever the hell that means. But there is a board of governors that oversees the state university system, and what this is all part of the process is saying that athletes, hey, you can make a profit. You can make some dough off of your name, your image, and your likeness. You're an individual, is what the NCAA, but specifically pushed into the corner. The NCAA is recognizing this because of the states of California and Florida. Two states with radically different philosophies when it comes to governing agreed on this. This, by the way, once again, is more of the libertarian strain in the Republican Party. I believe that, well, there are many different things to this in terms of the culture of it all. But what libertarians always recognize this, but what liberals and conservatives are coming together on is that these men and women in college have been freaking cheated for years. Because what the NCAA tells them is, no, you can go out and get a job in anything you want, but you can't make money off your name. Why? I'm an individual. I am a person. I have worked all these years to get where I am at a D1 school or wherever, insert the sport. People know me, by the way, with social media today, names, people more prevalent than ever, and they want to make a buck off their name. Why shouldn't that be allowed? I don't know. Let me get to some calls here. I see on hold callers. We're going to get to you. Again, I want to be very clear here, though, about what we're talking about. A man or woman in college, whether or not they get a scholarship, it makes no difference. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. This is not your taxpayer dollars. It has nothing to do with their scholarship. It has nothing to do with the contract that individual has with their college when it comes to like, hey, we're going to give you some money, a full ride to come here and do this. Maybe separately, I'd entertain that the college can say, hey, we'll give you this scholarship if you don't take money on your personal likeness or image in any way. I think that's a bunch of bull, and the athlete should say, hell no. But they could do that if they decided to go into that contract. But these are individuals, and I believe in the free market system, and therefore, if you want to make money off of your name, your likeness, your image, you damn well should be able to. The NCAA should not be able to hijack that from you. A few other things to make it clear. When the student athlete is doing some sort of image, likeness, or endorsement, the endorsement has to be cleared. Can't go out and endorse pot brownies. I don't know, I'm just thinking of something. But you can do a restaurant, a car dealership. I'd insert whatever business. There's something, can't go out and endorse Johnny Walker, Jack Daniels, or your favorite local craft beer. Can't do that. Okay, cool. I understand some rules to it. Got it. But this is the first time that athletes are able to do this, and they should be able to. Let's go to Josh in Fort Myers. Hey, Josh, you're on the drive.
Whoa. I totally agree.
What was that? Sorry, dude. I don't know if you just shut a door or you killed a
The
rat.
way you have to pay for songs to be played in and out of your intros, to your show there. The exact reason why you can't do that no more. So, I mean, to me, it's like a pointless argument. Every other sports person makes money. Why is college different? Just because they're in school? Because they have a university backing them? I mean,
totally agree.
Really...
Josh, well said. Let me go to Doug in Fort Myers who says no. Hey, Doug, you're on the drive.
Yeah, I mean, I know you say it has nothing to do with the scholarships and everything. It's not taxpayer money. I get that. But still, they are getting paid. They're getting an excellent scholarship. They're getting, if they decide to graduate, they're getting a great degree and they're getting a future.
So what does that have to do with what we're talking about? Why does that matter to you?
It matters because then you have the slippery slope.
What's the slippery slope?
The slippery slope is, we just get this, this backer who owns a car dealership to throw these guys a ton of money to come play for their schools.
Okay, I see where you're going here. And actually, this is an absolutely legitimate argument and one of the best in it. Explain again. Let me allow you to do this so I don't hijack your call here, because what you're bringing up is a great point. Expand on what you're talking about, where men or women who are loaded, billionaires who give monies to colleges and how they can recruit. Go ahead.
Okay, so the reason that the college athletes are not supposed to be paid for their work is because then you end up paying the students, and it creates, not that it's already not an unfair advantage for these bigger schools and whatnot, but you still have the same situation. So now you can start paying people. Yeah, okay, come do a commercial for me, and we'll throw you billions of dollars, millions of dollars to come play for, let's say Ohio State University. And that's just not fair. So to the rest
Doug,
of the,
that is one of the
other schools.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that is being worked out. You know what that's in line with is what I was talking about, how there will be a framework here of you can't do, for example, commercials endorsing an alcohol product, whiskey, beer, wine. I brought up a pot brownies as a sort of a joke, but as medicinal marijuana makes its way legally throughout the United States, couldn't do that. But of course, you could do your local car dealership. Now, typically, families who own a car dealership have a lot of money. It takes a lot of capital to start that, and once you do, it's a very successful business, and you can make a lot of money. So, Doug, again, what you're bringing up is a great point. And what you're getting at here to kind of bring that into how it would be utilized is what you're saying is that, hey, I own a car dealership in Columbus, Ohio. You just brought up Ohio State, right? And if you come to this school, it's like a backdoor deal. You're going to be the main face endorsing my car dealers, my Cadillac dealership. And so some of those rules are being worked out that it could not be as a tool used for recruiting. But I totally agree that, yes, that is something that needs to be looked at. I don't know how you can create a framework of rules that would 100% be able to stop that. But then, Doug, I come full circle back to what you already said, which is there's already unfair advantages built into this. And you know what? There's part of me that's like, hey, if you want to go move here because you think that you're going to get a better deal, how are you going to combat that? Maybe some rules. But either way, there's already unfair advantages, and quite frankly, the world's unfair.
So now you have to set up another legislative body that's going to say, well, you're allowed to get paid for this, but not allowed to get paid for that. And then once again, the richer schools are going to find the ways around it. It just creates that's what the University of Cincinnati is actually doing an excellent job of getting really good recruits. They're getting them from the people from, out of state and, that would have gone to, in Ohio State and sat on the bench and say, no, you can come here and you can play right away. Well, you take that away and you say, well, we got these rich backers now that are going to pay you $1 million to do a couple of car commercials. Yeah, you don't get to play your freshman and sophomore year, but you're a D1 recruit, man. We're going to make money and we're going to pay you to come in and sit on the bench.
What you're bringing up is it's a very specific example, but I would bet that a D1 athlete who's focused on sports is going to say, hey, maybe I won't make, who knows what these numbers are going to be. I think that's actually another fascinating discussion here. But, hey, maybe if I'm not going to make an extra $2,000 or $10,000 a month, but I'm going to be the starter on this school because my intent is to become a professional athlete and make millions of dollars, perhaps as, inflation grows and we see athletes becoming real stars internationally, billions of dollars like a Roger Federer or a Tom Brady, whoever, that they're going to go and say, I'm going to go play the sport instead of taking the short answer. But my real question to you, Doug, is why the hell would anyone want to move to Cincinnati?
Well, I moved out, but that's not the point.
I'm just kidding. It's not Cleveland. That's my answer to that. I got him. It's not Cleveland. JD in Naples. What's up, JD?
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey.
There's a couple of things on unintended consequences that you may have not thought about. Kids getting paid obviously have to create a persona because it's all marketing, and you understand that.
I certainly do.
Think about what's going to happen when these kids try to create a persona, right? And coaches and teammates are going to lose their locker room when kids are only about how many looks did I get on Instagram and what companies are looking at me. Another on it.
Hey, JD, hold up. Let's take that point. Okay. So think about what you're saying, that basically what you're saying is that these students, these men or women, are going to be irresponsible a-holes, is what you're saying.
So, listen, I was at a meeting with Aaron Rodgers. He says he doesn't even know his teammates because as soon as they come into the locker room, the first thing they do is get on their social media to see what's happening.
Okay.
And what do you think 18-year-old kids are going to do? Here's another thing.
Are they kids?
What's going to what do you think is going to happen?
JD, listen though. I want
listen,
JD.
I played
JD.
Division I, so I just want to go through.
No,
Okay,
JD, I want to take your first point. Let's stop.
Okay.
We've got time here, man. Okay. Again, your whole basis is I talked to Aaron Rodgers once, who, by the way, is an okay quarterback. I don't know if he's going to stay with the Packers or not. But I would say, one guy told me is what part of your argument's based on. But now let's take apart the other. Let's take apart the other part, which is these kids, which I think is a patronizing way to talk about young men and women who are taking who are playing sports at a D1 school and saying that they're just going to do this because that's what you think that they're going to do. I'd flip it around and say, no, man. These are, especially if you're looking at D1 athletes, these are people who have busted their ass to get where they're at, and they're probably already pretty damn responsible. JD, my question to you, you were a D1 athlete, yes or no?
My brother played for the Florida Gators.
And would your brother have been doing that? Would your brother have been putting his face into Instagram the whole time?
So you're giving a lot of these kids way too much credit. You got to think where they're coming from.
How condescending can we be about this, man?
No. So now you got a locker room where some kids are making $100,000
again. And
wait a second. It's true. They're 18 years old, and a lot of them come from very, very difficult backgrounds.
This and a lot of them. Do you think that the majority, or a lot of them? Look, I mean, what you're throwing in now here is all sorts of. You're talking about stereotypes and you're being very condescending, quite
Can
frankly, to 18-year-olds.
Can I add something?
No, please.
So
I mean, obviously, it's your show.
Let's another one. So let's say one of the gaming companies, hires one of these kids to be on, the football game or the basketball game and so forth. And the coach says, well, you can't play this week. You didn't go to class. Well, what? The gaming company says, wait a second. We're paying this kid. He's got to play. Who gets to decide who he plays when he plays?
This has what you're talking about now is so it just has you have no grips with what we're talking about.
When you start talking about money and now you start putting pressure on who gets to play because how much money they're getting paid. The administrations know the coach no longer has control of it when these kids are getting paid by an outside source.
Wow. Do you know what this is like? This is like blaming all of the dysfunction in Washington on lobbyists. And here's my problem with that, is that you what you're saying is that you're a member. Let me ask you, are you a fan of Byron Donalds?
Absolutely.
He's the bomb. Like, I love the guy. He's firm as hell. Why? But why is he so beholden to lobbyists? I mean, lobbyists control everything. Lobbyists, and here's what I'm getting at. When we say that, when we say these lobbyists control everything, we need to get money out of politics. We need to regulate this, regulate that. What you're saying is your congressman is a dumbass, is a complete idiot. And what you're saying right now is not only, as you've clearly expressed, JD, the students, the kids, are clearly dumb. They clearly cannot handle themselves in any way, shape, or form or be responsible because they'll be lost to the even dumber people, the coaches who are obviously going to be influenced by money. They're such idiots. They don't have a backbone. They can't be responsible. So it's all just a big mess.
Trey, what will motivate the kid? The money.
What do you think is motivate? Listen, do you think that somebody playing at a D1 level is not thinking about the massive contract that they're going to get as soon as they graduate?
If they play well, exceed at a high level, and they are able to move on.
Now let me flip it. I got to wrap up with this. JD, I got to wrap up with this.
Go ahead.
Dude, do you realize how many of those kids, as you just put it, are not going to get a contract? Those little children wandering about onto the D1 football field to go play for an Ohio State, Nebraska, Florida State, who are going to get in their sophomore year as they suit up as at the varsity level, as they suit up and they get their knee knocked out, they get their ACL torn, and they're done. They've got nothing. And they came to, again, stick with your stereotype, that kid who came from the bad background, who really doesn't have much going for him anyway. He's clearly already an idiot and had a crap upbringing. What do they have now? That entire 2 years, they could have been making a little scratch on the side. They could have been posting some Instagram stuff. Hell, maybe they had enough of a personality that they got hired to do a local TV commercial. Come on down to this car lot. This is where I buy my car. Boom. 30 seconds done. Here's 10 grand. They do that a few times, and they then leave college after they get hurt on the field, shedding their freaking skin, their body, and their blood for the NCAA and not getting a freaking dime. The scholarship is not getting paid. Sorry, it's not. If you want to talk about real-world consequences here. Having some money in your pocket when the reality is that all those D1, even scholarship winners, they're not going to get that multi-million-dollar contract or even the league minimum from the NFL or NBA or wherever. And God, if you're a female, now you have to compete against males. In some states, not in Florida. We'll get to that. Phone number is 239-479-5592. My overall take on this, of the people that say no, I would say the caller before him had some really legitimate concerns about the way that the money could be allocated to luring people in. I think that's more of a valid argument to, well, these kids are all just going to get lost. Or another one that we had, the kids are going to get jealous of each other. Do you think for a second that the offensive guard who's never had a TV camera interview him doesn't occasionally get a little jealous by the frickin' quarterback, but who's out there giving every interview, talking about running the team? Who keeps that quarterback safe every time that they snap that damn ball? Who keeps the quarterback from ripping their ACL by some linebacker massacring him in the background, right behind that offensive guard or tackle? But they don't get it. They don't get any spotlight. Of course, jealousy's already there. You know what all of this is? It's called the real world. It's called the real world, and these students should be earning money like they could and should in the real world. And number two, these are some of the consequences of the real world. Jealousy, working hard, or seeing others who don't work as hard as you, but maybe have some success in their life in different ways. It's the real world. Get used to it. Phone number is 239-479-5592. We'll be right back.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Really a good feeling to know that when it comes to your house and all the water that is in every faucet, every place in your home, that you don't have to worry about the water smelling like chlorine or messing up your shower glass, your faucets, right, with that hard water staining, the drying out of your skin and your hair. Just imagine what that would be like. You don't have to imagine it. You can just do it. You call the Uniform Pentair water specialist. They can find out what's going on with your water and handle your city or well water issues. Yours, right here in Southwest Florida. With their mobile showroom, you can see for yourself that Pentair has both high-performance salt systems and salt-free solutions too. And salt-free means no lugging in bags of salt for you, and that they can install that Pentair water system for you as well. You're going to love the way your water tastes from every faucet and the peace of mind that only a Pentair water system can give you. So call now and get your free digital Pentair water test. Save 15% on your whole home water system by calling 239-880-7799. That's 239-880-7799, or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
You find yourself searching for a reputable air conditioning company? Don't sweat. Call Brett. I'm Crystal Casey with Brett Air Conditioning. For over 45 years, our motto has been, don't sweat, call Brett. We are a family-owned business with a great reputation. Whether your AC needs maintained, serviced, or replaced, we are here to serve you. So stop searching and join the Brett Air family today. You can find us online at brettairconditioning.com or call us at 239-566-3633. 239-566-3633.
If you don't love your AC company, call Brett Air right now. Find them online at brettairconditioning.com or like them on Facebook.
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
License number CAC 1819995.
Injuries on the job can cause you to lose control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar Levine. Money is not coming in and your medical bills are piling up. Our legal team is here to help. We can help you file all your workers' compensation claims to make sure you get the proper benefits you're entitled to. If you've been injured on the job, call the law offices of Anajar Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Naples.
Jason and Todd believe in value. They're direct diamond importers and hand select each diamond directly from the cutters. By cutting out the middlemen, the Diamond District offers the best quality diamonds at the lowest prices, and they pass that savings on to you.
At the Diamond District.
Glenn Beck at 9 a.m. and Sean Hannity at 3. This is Trey Radel on 92.5 Fox News.
Let's get to some calls here. Jana, how you doing, Jana? You're on the drive.
Hi, Trey. Nice to talk with you.
Nice to talk with you. What's going on?
Weigh in. I'm sorry.
What are your thoughts? Go ahead.
I just want to weigh in on my support for the college athletes getting paid for their persona, because I believe that even in the smaller schools and scholarship athletes, them being able to make money off of their image can help them actually make it to those tryouts for the NFL.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
You could get maybe drafted from your school to go for a tryout, and I know someone locally that, missed out a bunch against a lot of other good athletes. And if you just don't fit with their team, but you are actually NFL level, then you might not make that team that season. But that's your one free try. If you have to go again, you actually have to pay. And
I didn't even know. What I was just thinking actually is, I always view time as money. And the older you get, the busier you get. When you have to literally divvy up your time, you can begin to allot it. So, like if you're self-employed and you say I'm already very busy, but if you pay me X amount of dollars, I can move around some things. Money saves you time. And so here's how I would flip that and say with a potential athlete is that, look, if they can make some money off of even things as simple and basic as just taking pictures on Instagram, doing selfies at their local restaurant, if that can get them some money into their pocket, then they don't need to actually physically go out and work a 9-to-5 or even a 30-hour-a-week job, and then they can devote it to not only going to that camp or that tryout that you just talked about, but I would also say training.
I totally agree with you. I went to school with Rex Grossman.
Oh, really?
He was a great athlete, but we also had many other potential athletes that could have went really far. And I know they came from less affluent families and less support. There's many varying factors, but you see that as a repeated thing. And there was also someone locally who tried out for the Bears and didn't make it because money was a factor on repeat tryout.
Yep.
So I see this as an opportunity and a new way of the future for people to make money. Obviously, we're making money off TikToks and YouTube accounts. And so why not that athlete, as long as it's not a conflict of interest?
Totally agree.
With the school.
Yep. And again, I think that the NCAA and the schools themselves will have their a framework of, you cannot use our image. This is about you. It's your image and your likeness. And the NCAA will set up their own framework as well that I think that most people would agree on. It'd be just little examples like I gave, no alcohol endorsements or whatever. But I just don't understand how you think that a college student athlete should be able to make money from working an outside job, whether it's being a server at a local restaurant or just, construction work, whatever it may be. Why shouldn't they be allowed to just make money in a different way, utilizing their image and likeness? I just don't know why you would disagree with that, but we do have a few people. And again, I think that there are some concerns undoubtedly that could come up with this. Some either things that we've already talked about on this program or unforeseen things about how money gets shifted around, where it goes to. I hope that the NCAA can address that and they don't have a whole glut of people going to this one college in this one city where one multi-billionaire lives and has everybody on their commercials. I think that's a fair concern, but again, the NCAA has already addressed that concern and they've got a framework for it. But I also think that there's that concern anyway, the way that endowments are set up, the way that the students are lured from high schools to come to this place. We're going to give you this, this, and this. Look at the facilities we have. You don't need to live in the dump over here. You don't need to live in Cleveland, for God's sakes. Why would you live there? Look at the crappy areas that they have to live. Come to, you think I'm going to say Cincinnati? Come to Florida. Phone number is 239-479-5592. Drew in the Cape thinks that there will be some complications in the long run. What's up, Drew?
Hey, how's it going, Trey?
Hey, all right. What you got?
And hey, so here's my issue. I totally am for all these young men and women making money any way possible because that's what everyone else does. However, the issue I think that comes along is you have two sides to a college. What college is for an education. That's what it's designed for. However, we'll call the sports side the brute, I guess. So you have, your brains in the brute of a college, essentially. I'm simplifying it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
There are the brains of universities that actually end up maybe even starting companies for the university, and they don't see a dime of anything. They provide all this years and years of work, and I know somebody who, helped out the University of Central Florida start a consulting firm, and they don't see any of that money. And so I think that it's going to be more of an issue than just athletics, because there are other ways that colleges make money off these students, and none of those students see any of that money. So they're going to be like, okay, well, if the athletics are getting it, what about us?
That the education side, I'm sorry, I'm not exactly following here. That the education side of the university will say, we want to make money too?
Right, because what can happen is...
But what's happening right now is that the sports are making, I almost said it, boatloads of money, not a boop ton of money. They're making all sorts of money off of these athletes, and they don't ever see a dime. They don't see anything. And it's the NCAA that's making money off of their image and their likeness. They'll still be able to continue to do so. They'll be able to put out a commercial like, come to this Florida Gators game. Look who our starting quarterback is. And that person is a draw. But simultaneously, that person will be able to, on the side, if you will, for lack of better words, be able to do commercials, this or that, earning money as well.
Right, and I totally understand that. I'm totally for that. It's just that what I'm saying is that there are students that are, we're going to call the brains of the university, not the brute, which would be the sports, and what I'm trying to have a metaphor there.
But they'll want to make money?
No, not off the sports, off of the things that they do for the university, like stuff for the university.
Yeah, they're already allowed to. If I do something for the university, I don't know, I started the coolest debate club in the world, whatever it may be,
No, I'm talking about an actual corporation, an actual profit-making company. Like, for example, I know somebody who was in the IO psychology master's degree at UCF, and they helped UCF create a consulting firm.
Okay.
And saw nothing from it.
Okay, I see what you're saying there, but these are apples and oranges. I see exactly what you're saying. Maybe it pushes that into the realm of what you're talking about, going from oranges to apples or vice versa. But this is just image and likeness. This is not being a student and participating in forming a for-profit company. I hear what you're saying. Again, though, just apples and oranges right now. John and Lehigh. Go ahead, John.
Hello. I may have a solution. Yes, it would be a problem if they were allowed to do endorsements, because a large company like Visa can work a deal with a college saying, "Oh, well, go."
They're not allowed to do that.
Visa will give you.
They're not allowed to do that. That's not. That's part of the framework.
My solution is the NCAA and the colleges are already making money off their likeness and their names via video games and jersey sales. Well, just cut a percentage to the players.
Well, why? Why do that? Why not just allow the NCAA to continue making their money off the students and allow the students to make their money off of who they are? What's wrong with that?
Well, they're using their likeness, so they should have a right to their likeness. But again, it's too easy for someone to work in, and there's too much chance for almost bribery to get people to go to school.
Do you? But again, you're going back to what the other guy's talking about. Is like, well, maybe, possibly, this could happen. And the reality is that what you're doing is you're saying that I trust no one. That I think all of these kids are dumb. I think all the coaches are dumb. I think that the schools are totally corrupt, and that everybody is so screwed up and so stupid that we shouldn't even try this. That's your premise. Am I wrong?
No. Now, corruption in the schools, yes, I believe that there is a large opportunity for that. And schools, knowing the amount of money that they can make off of a powerful football team.
So screw the kids because the schools might do this. This is about...
No, that's what I'm saying. They're already making money off of these kids' likeness, so they should be able to receive a percentage of that.
Again, why... The NCAA, this would not change things for them. They can continue to make the money off of that. I'm with that. We both agree on that. I'm just saying, why not allow the students, these student athletes, whether D1 through every division, be able to make money on their own, as their own individual. I am John from Lehigh, and I play D1 at University of Florida. University of Florida, whether it's the posters that they sell to jerseys that they sell with John from Lehigh on the back of it, they make their money off of that. All we're saying is, John from Lehigh, you know what? You're a really popular football player. Why can't you do a commercial for this restaurant, car dealership, or whatever on this radio station? Hi, I'm John from Lehigh. You might know me from football. Can't say the name of the school, but you might know me as a quarterback. And you know what? I love being a quarterback, and I also love going to this restaurant. You should go visit this restaurant. Thanks, bye. 30 seconds, and you get paid for that. That's what we're talking about here. That's the actual practical day-to-day type of advertising that would be done overwhelmingly, I think, all throughout all of the country. And you're talking D3 students, too, who are athletes, and they might be the star of their local community. They're never going to get any money. They're not getting money from anywhere, and they don't even have time to work, because even at a D3 school where they're never going to get into the NFL from, they still devote their freaking lives to studying at that school and playing sports for that school and never get to make money. I think they should be able to make some money. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue with sports, but in a different way. Governor Ron DeSantis signed off on legislation today. Here's two ways to put it. Governor DeSantis signed transgender athlete ban. That's one way to put it. Here's my way. Governor DeSantis signed legislation saying that men cannot compete against women. Trey Radel, be right back.
This is 92.5 Fox
Are you
News.
one of the millions of homeowners who haven't refinanced yet? If so, I'm here to tell you it's not too late. Hi, I'm Wesley Hogan with Westland Financial. Although the lowest rates may be in our rearview mirror, as the economy recovers from the biggest economic shock of our lifetime, rates still remain near historic lows. In fact, with the dramatic increase in home values, this may be the perfect time to put that new home equity to work. Take advantage of our cash out refi program and pay off high rate credit cards, car loans, or other high interest rate debt. Or finally make those home improvements you put on hold for so long. Best of all, we can do this with no closing costs. That's right, whether it's a conventional, FHA, or VA loan, we'll pay for your title, settlement, lender, and recording fees. So call Westland at 888-455-3669. That's 888-455-3669. It's the biggest no-brainer in the history of mankind. 888-455-3669.
NMLS number 3304. Not all loans apply. Equal housing lender.
True relief for back and neck pain. Back or neck pain is not just unpleasant, it can be debilitating, preventing you from performing your daily routine and even confining you to bed. In decades past, patients suffering from spinal issues were often just given pain medication, spinal injections, and when they did not heal, often underwent spinal surgery. Luckily, there is now another option, non-surgical spinal decompression. At Johnson Spinal Care 596 Back, we use an advanced technology to apply a completely safe unloading force to relieve nerve compression associated with bulging herniated discs, sciatica, stenosis, scoliosis, neuropathy. This award-winning approach, safe for any age, has gained international praise from physicians for its success. Complete pain relief is achievable. Johnson Spinal Care is here to serve you. Call our Medicare-friendly office today for an immediate, no-charge telephone consultation. 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Manufactured in the USA, Plantation Shutters for You is the best choice for plantation shutters. Custom measured and installed just for you. Built to last forever. They will not be undersold. Start with a free consultation. PlantationShuttersForYou.com. And God bless everyone.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. Sex. I have your attention, don't I? Well, in studio with us to talk about just that, Dr. Michael P. Varvaris. Check out Dr. Varvaris online at mddocv.com. Doctor, good to have you here today. Let's talk a little bit about female sex hormones. What a topic.
Well, first off, you need to realize that hormones move around the blood while they work in the tissue. And what really matters is your tissue level and not your blood level. So when you're taking estradiol or progesterone, whether it's a tablet, an injection, a cream, or a pellet, the blood level is pretty much worthless. Now, doctors usually don't understand this, and patients end up getting horribly overdosed. Now, oral estrogen has been associated with cancer, heart disease, liver disease. Many doctors even use birth control pills for this. And these things contain synthetic hormones, which are basically a kind of poison. Most doctors will use estradiol alone if the patient doesn't have a uterus, not realizing that every cell in a woman's body needs a balance of estradiol combined with progesterone. So if you're a woman, you're on postmenopausal sex hormones, and your doctor's measuring blood levels or putting you on oral estrogen or using birth control pills, you really do need to see me.
Check out Dr. Varvaris online at mddocv.com.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
This planet is so gorgeous and so incredibly beautiful that I can't get enough of it. I just can't. I did 950 miles on the Pacific Crest Trail and then decided I wanted to go hike in the Himalayas. I was not 20 years old. I was 64 years old. And the Good Feet was with me all the way.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Dale actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
Your passion's important, but if your body aches and if your heel feels like you've got a nail stuck in it and won't come out, trust me, it's going to wear you down. The Good Feet store knew what they were talking about and took the time to really dial in what I needed. At 64 years of age, I hiked 84 miles in the Himalaya and to do it pain-free. You think I'm not grateful for arch supports from Good Feet? I mean, come on. I'm Dale, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Call 552-FEET or visit us in Naples or our newest store in Fort Myers.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. You know the real estate market's really hot right now, but for how long? Well, nobody really knows. I mean, if people don't catch up on their mortgage payments because of COVID, the market's going to get flooded with foreclosure inventory, and that's scary because your home's value could plummet. So if you thought about selling your home for a premium price, now's the time to do it. But you don't want to make any costly mistakes. That's why you need to get with Anthony Gomes from GomesMovesHomes.com. See, he's been buying, selling, brokering, and investing in real estate for over 20 years. Mistakes in real estate can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Anthony wrote a book on how to sell homes, your home, and for the most money. And he wants to ship it to you for free. Just go to GomesMovesHomes.com and tell him where you want to send it. Inside, you'll gain 20 years of secrets from wealthy home sellers on how you can sell for a premium price without doing repairs, letting strangers go through your home, and you could pick the closing date. Go to GomesMovesHomes.com. Again, GomesMovesHomes.com.
Trey Ragle is on 92.5 Fox News.
Trey Riddle, your host of The Drive here. Man, phones blew up on that one. Anybody yell at you, Katrina?
Framers.
All right. Occasionally, there's a few subjects that people will really get fired up about. I'm very passionate, but I know I sometimes nerd out and I get passionate about some really dumb things. Foreign policy, I know, bores the hell out of a lot of people, but that's one of my deals where I'm like, I think some of the worst decisions in the last 30 years in the United States have been made based on ridiculous foreign policy moves. This one is one that gets me fired up, though, too, because why can't these students make money? How do you call yourself somebody who believes in individualism and personal responsibility and free markets? You know, you talk about all these things and then you're like, no. Personal responsibility. No, nobody can be personally responsible. No one. I mean, think about the list of who can't be responsible enough to handle this. Presidents of universities to the coaches themselves, the boards, the sports, the athletic directors, to the students. None of them are responsible enough to handle this, is what one of the arguments was. No personal responsibility out the door. Free markets. We have somebody, where did that go? In college athletics, this is a comment from Facebook. It should be an equity share by the whole team, step rated to starters, second string, etc.
That way it's fair.
I think that's called socialism. You know, it's like in grades. How I don't think this is apples to oranges either. There was who was it? I don't know, Talking Points USA or whatever. They sent out some college students to go to college campuses, and they asked, do you believe in socialism? And many of the students were like, yeah, totes. That's short for totally. Totes. I'm totally into socialism. Socialism is great. And then they asked, oh, okay. They did a little chit chat about something else to kind of distract them to not think about socialism. And then they go back to another subject. They're like, hey, by the way, what kind of grades do you get? And the students responded with straight A's. I get straight A's. Let me go back again to what they talked about earlier. Earlier in their socialism talk, it was like, some people come from disadvantaged places and we just need to give more. People who just have these privileges should, be sharing, and it should be equal among all. Again, insert some chit-chat, come back to what we were just talking about. Hey, what do you get? Straight A's. Oh, wow. You get straight A's. Tell me, are your parents married? Yep. Where do you come from? I come from the suburb of this city. Oh. Hey, do you think that you should give at least 2 of your A's to this person who got C's? You can get a B, and they can get B's. And what was the answer? Hell no. You're not going to take my grades. I worked for that. I earned that. I did this. I put in the work for that. Yeah, but you came from all of the things these days they consider privilege. You're white. Your parents aren't divorced. You come from the suburbs. You come from money. You went to a private school, or you went to a public school that was well-funded, not like the crap school that your other student counterpart went to. That was also another government-run school, but not funded because they're in a garbage neighborhood with garbage teachers and garbage infrastructure. Don't you think that you should be giving your grades to them? I mean, really, that's the premise of socialism culturally today, is that if you have all of these things that you're privileged with, and again, one of those things is you have both parents in your household, you're privileged. White, privileged. Are you straight? Privileged. All of these things give you privilege, and so you need to begin dividing that up. And you ask somebody about that, and in their theory, because that's what socialism is, it's great in theory, but you begin to do the real-world application of it, like give me your money, or you give up your seat at this college and give it to that person. No, I can't do that. Go ask somebody, by the way. You ever run across a student or high-level executive that is preaching down to you about equality, this and that, underprivileged, and what they need to do to make the world more fair and equitable? Why don't you give up your seat? I mean, think about if I sat in front of this camera, streaming this show every day, and broadcast to you listening here every day, and I talked about how unfair the radio industry is. This is terrible. We need to hire more minorities in this seat here right now. I can't believe that we don't have more minorities on this station here on 92.5. This is inexcusable. We need to hire more diverse staff here. Hire people of color. Trey Radel, are you going to go up your seat? No, not me. I didn't mean me. I'm good at what I do. I worked really hard for this. But you're white, dude. But no, I didn't mean me. I'm the one here talking about how great it is. You need me here. I am the white liberal that tells all the other white liberals and white conservatives what they need to do. That's the way it works, right? Why shouldn't I give up my seat if that's what I'm preaching to you every day? So where this started, I have no idea. It came out of me eventually wanting to talk about Governor Ron DeSantis and the athlete bill. Yeah. Light bulb above head.
I remember that.
But here I am ranting and raving. Why? Because we have until 57 here.
Rave on.
So with let me read the headline here again. That's in the press. And the way I read it, and then we've got somebody who one-upped me, wherever that is. I don't know if you can find that, Ian. I think you read that off a text. So, headline, Governor DeSantis signs transgender athlete ban. I said Governor DeSantis signs legislation banning men in women's sports. And even better, and this is great. You know who this came from now? Someone with a 216 area code, which I believe is Cleveland. What's up with Cleveland today? Making its way into our show.
There's a rumor that Cleveland rocks, but it's just a rumor.
It's a rumor. Cleveland texting us said, even better, Governor DeSantis signs legislation protecting the rights of female athletes. Boom. Great job. You should be a headline writer. You're not going to find work.
For a conservative newspaper.
Yeah, where's that? You have to go to like the 2 based in Washington, D.C., and they don't even print anymore. So Governor DeSantis actually signed this today. And look, here's what he says, and I'll have some thoughts on this. We have a few minutes if you want to call in, 239-479-5592. And Charlie Chris chimed in. Governor DeSantis says that it's important to have integrity in the competition. We think it's important that they're able to compete on a level playing field. You see what happens when you don't have that. By the way, look, this is so weird how we're talking about a level playing field, right? Because you would think that, like, a liberal must be saying that. Damn liberal DeSantis. And this is the weird thing. It's that conservatives understand. Are you ready? Science. No joke. They understand biology. And so in conservatives and Republicans being the party of science, that Democrats keep saying that's what they are. In doing that, Governor DeSantis signs off on legislation saying we're the party of science and we are actually going to have the level playing field here. All of the irony in this is thick. It's thick. U.S. Representative Charlie Crist, a Democrat from St. Petersburg, I can't even believe they label him in this article as that, challenging DeSantis for governor next year, called it, quote, cruel legislation, creating an issue where one doesn't exist. Charlie Crist doesn't have kids. He doesn't have children. And so I can't say, hey, Charlie, you should really go talk with your daughters. Even if you don't have kids, though. I always hate to be like that father. It's like, when you have kids, you'll understand. What a dumb statement. Look, you can understand this. Whether you're a man or woman, even if you're a transgender listening right now, I'm being dead serious. There's a girl right now in the United States who's been working her ass off to get a D1 scholarship. Whether it's specifically, let's talk track and field, because this is where we're seeing it happen over and over and over. And that girl has been working to be the best in her high school, somewhere here in Southwest Florida, somewhere in Florida, somewhere in the United States. And she has worked at this since she was 10 years old. And mom and dad, or a single mom or dad, took time away from their job to make sure that she could get to the camps that she went to. They went around and found programs where that little girl could go into. Mom and dad, who were making some money, decided to take money from vacation one year and put it to their little girl so she could be the best in her high school. Why? So she could get a full ride to Florida State or University of Florida or wherever in the United States. And she gets up there, boom, freshman year, she's kicking butt. Sophomore year, she's killing it. Junior year, a boy, a man, steps in and is racing against her. While she was holding some top-level records for her age, she's getting decimated. And she gets pushed down, and by the way, off of a lot of the radars of people who are out there scoping, because they sometimes just do it by statistics. They don't know that a dude is beating that girl. Senior year, the guy is winning everything, is destroying the competition. And the girl, who worked so hard for the D1 scholarship, in many cases, is now pushed off the radars of the scouts or can't get it. Or even if it's not all about the D1 and it was about her pride and wanting to be the best in her high school, all of that went out the window as well. Why? Because a dude competed against her. Republicans are the party of science and reason. And anything else in terms of contradicting that is ridiculous. We're back tomorrow. Fun being with you tonight. You can always email me, Trey@925foxnews.com. Bye now.
.925 Fox News.
Summer is here, and Conditioned Air wants to introduce you to our new Easy Comfort solution, the coolest way to get your new AC. Now you can get a new AC unit for one low monthly payment and no down payment. Best of all, annual tune-ups, a smart thermostat, air filters, and repairs due to normal wear and tear are all included. Call Conditioned Air today, the comfort people since 1962. 1-888-COLD-AIR or online at conditionedair.com. License number CAC 1819590.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau from D.R. Martineau Roofing and Gutters. Get your mind out of the gutters. We are proud to announce the addition of our seamless aluminum gutter division. Contact our team for your free quote. Just Google DRM Roofing.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Because it's my vision, I take the most studied eye vitamin brand.
Because it's my vision, I take the eye vitamin brand backed by 20 years of research.
Because it's my vision, I take PreserVision.
Age-related macular degeneration is the leading cause of vision loss in adults over 60. That's why the National Eye Institute did 20 years of clinical studies on the formula that's found in PreserVision. From the eye experts at Bausch & Lomb, PreserVision AREDS 2 formula eye vitamins contain the exact nutrient formula recommended by the National Eye Institute to help reduce the risk of moderate to advanced AMD progression.
Because it's my vision, I made a plan with my doctor that includes PreserVision. Find PreserVision in the vitamin aisle. Available at Walmart.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This news update is presented by Forum Chiropractic and Dr. Amy Robbins.